Hello and welcome to the All Rookie Podcast. Today is November 4th, 2024, and I'm your host, William Harris, aka William is Bill, back with the Week 2 recap of your top rookies of the season so far. Week 2 was full of fun, thoughtful, eventful things in the NBA. Had some injuries that allowed rookies to get minutes. All type of things happened in week 2. So let's get straight to it like it's nothing to it. The top rookies of week 2. Now let's start off with categories, just the top guys in categories. The leader in points thus far for the season for rookies now is Jalen Wells, the second round pick for the Memphis Grizzlies. That's a surprise to everyone for sure, but they had a lot of injuries and that allowed him to get minutes. Second is Alex Sarr. Wells has 10.3, Alex Sarr 9.8, so essentially they both 10, but still. Bub Carrington 9, Zach Edey 9, Tristan Da Silva 8.5. Rebound leader, Alex Sarr 6.2, Yves Missi 6, and Edey and Clingan are tied for 5.7. Your leader in assists, second round pick, Jamal Shead with 5, followed by Bub Carrington with 4.4. Your leader in blocks, Alex Sarr with almost 3, followed by Yves Missi at 1.7. And Keyshawn George and Donovan Clingan are tied at 1.6. Leader in steals, Jonathan Mobo from the Raptors, second round pick. And then you have multiple guys tied for second with 1. And your leader in minutes is Bub Carrington with 28 minutes per game. Now let's get into week 2 with the stats of your favorite rookies. The leader for me for week 2, who I predicted to be rookie of the year, and he's on that perfect path right now, that would be Alex Sarr of the Washington Wizards. Right now, he's averaging 10.6 boards, 3 blocks per game for the Wizards. And, week 1 was a bit of a struggle, but he still was in the top 10 rookies, and now he's number 1. So he's only going to get better throughout the season, and that's showing. And he's going to get consistent minutes throughout the season, 25 minutes per game right now. That might slowly ramp up. He should be at 30 for sure, and he's going to be allowed to fail and make mistakes. The Wizards are playing 3 rookies, 3 first-round picks, heavy minutes already. And Sarr has shown a lot in week 2. His last game, he had 17 points, 6 boards, and 4 blocks. So, I mean, that's what you want to see. That's what you hope for. You don't actually even expect to see that in week 2. So it's a bit of a surprise. 2 double-digit scoring games in a row. He had 11, then 17, and 2 4-block games in a row. So his defense has always been there. Once the offense gets rolling, the Wizards are gonna be very happy with their selection. Like I said, 17 points, that's trending in the right way. And for me, he projected to be a good offensive player because he has skill. He's not just a big, say no disrespect to Yves Missi or Derek Lively. Those guys are not expected to be scorers. They're rim runners, shot blockers, athletic guys. Alex Sarr has an offensive package. He just has to put it together. Like, he's shown that he can shoot the ball. He has touch. But he just has to find his way in the NBA right now. And we'll get to a player that has said it's been a lot tougher than they thought, even though they're having a solid rookie season. Next, let's go to Bub Carrington from the Washington Wizards, 2 in a row. He's had a great second week, and thus far for the season, he's averaging 9 points, 3.5 boards, 4.5 assists, and 1 steal per game. And like I said, leader in minutes for rookies at 28 per game. This week, he had a 13-point game, a 16.6 board, 6 assist game. That was his game of the week. Latest game, his points weren't there, only 4 points, but he had 8 assists and 4 steals. So that's great because even if you're not scoring, if you can contribute in other ways, that's a positive sign of a player that's going to be really good in this league. So he's had a great second week. The first week was nothing much to snuff about, but the second week, it showed you that potential is through the roof. And like I said with Sarr, he has every opportunity to succeed and to fail. he's on the Wizards, man. Is what can you say? But I like what I'm seeing from Bub Carrington, a guy that I did have in the lottery. A lot of people did not. But I still viewed him as a shooting guard. So we'll see if point guard is his natural position or not. Like I said, they have Jordan Poole running the point, Bub running the point. It's just a mishmash of things. This is not the finalized Wizards roster. I'll be glad when they get it nailed down who their team is going to be. But for now, we just roll with it. Next, we have Jalen Wells. Like I said, the surprise leader in points for the Memphis Grizzlies, averaging 10 points, 3.5 boards, 2 assists for the season. And this week, tremendous. I mean, 4 games for him this week, almost all were double digits. 11 points, 9 points, 16 points, 15 points. That is what you want to see from a first-round pick that we're not even seeing for the most part. And he is a mid-second round pick. I knew he was a great 3-point shooter. I knew he had great size, but I didn't see anything special from him. So to me, I had him as a mid to late second round pick as well. So this is a surprise for sure that he is playing so well, because not only is he getting points, he is getting rebounds. In those same games, 6 rebounds, one where he had 1, but then 7 rebounds, 5 rebounds. So this is a 6'7" small forward that is getting solid rebounding numbers now. Alex Sarr is averaging 6 rebounds per game. He's close to that on week 2. So, I mean, that's tremendous for Jalen Wells. And, a lot of people are saying even when they get healthy, you cannot just relegate him back to the bench. So we'll see what happens with Jalen Wells. And to me, I would think this is his peak. 15 points per game, 4 or 5 boards per game. But you never know. He could keep trending up. So look out for Jalen Wells. Next, we have Zach Edey, his teammate, the big man, 7'4" from Memphis, with the Grizzlies. But he is averaging for the season 9.6 boards and 0.4 blocks per game. I really want those blocks to go up, Zach Edey, but we'll see how that goes. But he had a good week too. 3 double-digit games in a row scoring. He had a 10 and 10 game, 10 points, 10 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. We want to see the production all over the place. So at least he had a block in that game. But 10 and 10 is great. The game before that, 10 and 8. So, and this is him in, like 20 minutes per game. So when those minutes go up, if they go up, they may not. Because again, you have 3 big men there that are balling. Jaren Jackson, who we all expected. Zach Edey in his limited minutes. He's doing a good job. And Jay Huff, that was not expected from most people, coming in and taking minutes from Edey, honestly. But he's filling the role and he can shoot the ball. So Edey may be in this 3-man timeshare for a little while. But if one of those guys get hurt, then I could see him continue to progress. But right now, I think he'll be stuck in this, 9.6 rebound type of status right now. Next, we have Zachary Richache, and that guy who I mentioned earlier, I didn't say his name, but he's averaging 8 points, 3 boards, 1 assist, 0.7 steals, and 1 block per game in 24 minutes for the Hawks. Now, he had an interesting quote this week where he said, because he's French, when I was playing overseas, I was the most athletic guy out there. I could use my speed, athleticism to be able to contribute to the game how I wanted, whether it's scoring, blowing by somebody, passing, jumping over somebody. He said in the NBA, his athleticism is just normal. He's not special in the NBA with his athleticism. So it makes it harder for him to dominate and be great like he was in France. And that is a very honest statement that we don't really get that type of honesty from our athletes. And I do think that has something to do with him being from France. We've gotten some honesty from a lot of French players. But it's also good that he realizes that about himself, because that's something he can work on. This will help his game, actually. So the things that he thought he was strong in, athleticism, speed, etc., now he can focus on the things that he may think he needs improvement on, and that will help him have a better all-around game. But for the most part, he's He's at a slow pace, but going to have a great rookie season, and it's going to go under the radar. But he had a 17-point game with 6 boards, with 2 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. That was a great game. But he also had 2 bad games sandwiched in between, a 4-point game, a 3-point game. Then his last game, 11 points and 5 boards and 3 steals. So he's going up and down, but it's to be expected. He's a first rounder who was not expected to be, I mean, not first round, he was the first pick in the draft. That was not expected to be the first pick in the draft. We know he still has a lot to work on, but he's 19 years old, 6'9", and still developing. But I see a nice path for Zachary, and I mean, I don't think he's going to give that job back up to DeAndre Hunter. There's no need to play Hunter over Zachary Richardson. Develop him, and let's see where the ceiling will go. Next, we have Tristan da Silva. It's kind of unfair. He only played 2 games. Most of these guys played 3 or 4 games, but he is now getting minutes because Paolo Banchero is out for a while. It was questioned whether he would get minutes finally, or would it be Jay Howard? Would it be Kentavious Caldwell-Pope get more minutes? Whatever. They could have went a bunch of different ways. But in the first game with Paolo out, da Silva had in 20 minutes 17 points, 5 boards, and 2 assists. That is great. That's out of this world for your first time really on the court. He played 5 minutes in garbage time the first game with no stats. So this really was his first game. 17 and 5 with 2 assists. That's great. That's what you want to see. In the second game, he played even more, 31 minutes. So he clearly impressed the team and had 7 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, and 1 block. And so, you know, there's going to be ups and downs, of course. He's 23 years old, but he's 6'9" as well. Weighs similar to Richardson, actually. It seems like he's a little heavier than Richardson, but listed on the NBA site, they're only 5 pounds apart. So they both are developing, but you got to remember he's only had 2 games. So we're going to see a lot from Tristan da Silva, it appears, while Paolo is out. So keep an eye on him. Next, we have Ryan Dunn from the Suns, just continuing to be steady. You know, and this week he had 2 good games and 1 dud of a game. Don't know what happened in that last game, but his big game was 16 points, 4 boards, and 1 steal. Game before that, 7 points, 1 steal, 1 block. But the recent game, hardly any stats in 13 minutes. So it depends on the minutes. And that big game, he did have 34 minutes. So you play Ryan Dunn big minutes, he's going to continue to develop for you. It's just a matter of the Suns system. You know, I know Brad Beal was out that game, so he must be back. But I think he should play still minimum 20 minutes a game for this team because he's showing what he can do, and he's only going to get better. Ryan Dunn. Next, we have Jared McCain for the Sixers. Now, the first week was nothing to sneeze at all. He had 4 points in 2 different games. That was pretty much it. Week 2, in the 2 games that his team played, his first game of the week, 12 points, 3 boards, 3 assists. That's a big jump. Second game, 19 points, 4 boards, 1 assist, and 1 steal. Now, that is crazy production, and then limited minutes as well. Both games, 21 minutes for the first game, 16 minutes for the second game, and he played better in that second game. So for a rookie to be scoring 19 and 4 and one of his true first opportunities, that's amazing for the Sixers. You know, obviously, Paul George and Joel Embiid are out. We'll see how that changes when they come back. But Jared McCain, bright start to his second week right there. Next, Jonathan Mobo from the Raptors. Yep, 23 years old, 6'6", undersized forward. Had a really good week too. I mean, he's had a great season, honestly. Early second-round pick for the Raptors. Was not really expected to do anything or get any minutes, really. But they had some injuries. They've had a lot of injuries, honestly. But he's just a stat sheet stuffer. You know, he had 3 games with 6 points and 1 game with 11 points. But just all around, you see 6 rebounds, a steal, a block, assist, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 3 rebounds, and an assist. So give this man minutes. He's going to be productive. He's going to be all over the court. Jonathan Mobo, a lot of people are falling in love with him, especially in the dynasty aspect. But he's still got some development. We'll see what happens when everyone gets back. I know RJ Barrett just came back, but we know Kid Quickly is out. And I think they're still just trying to figure out their lineup. But Jonathan Mobo is going to be a player that has a role on this team for sure. So look out for him. Next, another player that's starting to get minutes because of injury. You know, we talked about Tristan da Silva for the Magic. Now we have Kyle Filipowski. Lauri Markkanen is hurt right now. Somebody else got hurt for the Jazz. I can't think of it. But big week 2 for Kyle Filipowski. Week 1 barely played. Nothing to sneeze at. First game of week 2, only played 5 minutes. But then after that, the next 2 games, 24 minutes, 20 minutes, and then the third, 17 minutes. And he had 12 points, 8 boards, 2 assists, and 1 steal in that first game. And that's just tremendous. That's what you want to see. Second game, 12 points again, 5 boards, and 1 assist. So that's a great week 2 in itself. The third game, the points were not there. 17 minutes. So his minutes were from 24 to 20 to 17. But 2 points, 6 boards, and that was all the production there was. So we will see how that continues for Filipowski, but he's shown in 24 minutes he had a great game. Can he consistently get minutes for this team? Because he's ready to play right now, even though he's 20 years old, 6'11". The Jazz have a nice player right here with Kyle Filipowski. He just has to get the minutes. Next, we have Keyshawn George for the Wizards. Is that the third Wizard on here? We got Alex Sarr, above character, now Keyshawn George. And like I said, they're playing their rookies, big minutes already. And for the season, Keyshawn George is averaging 5 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1.6 blocks. In this week 2, he had an 11.2 rebound, 4 assists, 3 steal game. He had a 6.8 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 3 block game. So kind of like Mobo, putting up those numbers all over the place. That's what you want to see. Keyshawn George still continue to develop for this Wizards team. The rookies. They could just change the name of the team to the rookies. Next, we have Donovan Clingan for the Blazers, who still is in a struggle for minutes. You know, first week, averaged 13 minutes per game. The second week, averaging 12 minutes per game. So he's not being allowed to show all that he can do. Of course, averaging 4.6 boards, 1.6 blocks for the season. And like I said, most 11 minutes, 12 minutes. He's getting good rebounds, though, in that short amount of minutes. 6 rebounds, 7 rebounds, 4 rebounds. Each of those games in week 2, he had a block. But we just need more minutes. That's what we're waiting for Clingan. Drafted him 7th, 8th. I mean, they clearly have a plan, but right now they're playing DeAndre Ayton as if Clingan was just a free agent they signed. So we'll see. I'm sure the Blazers have something in mind. Next, for the Lakers, we have Dalton Knecht. For the season, he's averaging 8 points per game. In this week 2, first game was a complete dud. He only played 11 minutes and had basically no stats, just 1 rebound. Second game, though, went off 18 points, 3 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal. 1 turnover, excuse me. And they said that was the highest scoring game by a rookie thus far, 18 points. So he had to be on the list. The next game, on only 19 minutes, just had 5 points, 3 boards, 1 assist. So consistency with this playing and consistency with the playing time is something that you will see as a constant with these rookies. But last but not least, let's go to the next Raptor, Jamal Shead, who was near the top of the list last week. Production has dropped down, but he's still being productive. He's averaging 6 points and 3 boards on the season. But he has some nice games, 8 points, 7 points, 4 points. But the last game, 0 points. But the assists have been what's been probably most impressive. 5 assists, 9 assists, 1 assist, and 6 assists per game. It's really hard to get assists in this league. And he's a 6-foot point guard. sharing the court with Davion Mitchell, and he's not a threat to shoot it. So Jamal Shead still being productive due to all the circumstances going on. Definitely a top rookie in week 2. And, we'll see what happens when Immanuel Quickley comes back. Shead could be down to the G League because the minutes won't really be there. But it's good to see that he's been able to show what he can do in this limited time. So that is your top NBA rookies for week 2. Let me know how you feel about it. Let me know what you're thinking. Again, Reed Sheppard, Stephon Castle, Rob Dillingham, Tijan Salon. These top guys are not necessarily in the mix. Other than Alex Sarr, it's a big gap between most of these other guys. You got second rounders, hanging in there with the top guys because the top 10 guys, a lot of them are still not getting the minutes we expected. It's just gonna have to be a wait and process. However that goes. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. Thank you all so much for rocking with me again with the Rookie Podcast. That was your recap of the rookies for week 2. Until next time, I'm out of here. Peace.